So right now, Capitol Hill, there is a conflict over the budget right now. Both sides are not coming to the table. And with the recent trip that Biden made to Japan, both are at odds with each other, and the speaker has made it clear he's not going to have anything to do with any negotiations involving Joe Biden. Meanwhile, we creep even ever so closer to a default date. That default date is June 1st. Many Americans do not understand what the debt ceiling is all about. But here's the thing. I think it's time to understand what's truly going on here. Here are the 10 programs we need to cut from the U.S. budget. Number 10, NPR. So how long have we been funding NPR? Since 1970. 12% of funding combined with federal, state, and local funding contributes to their funding. Yes, folks, that includes NPR itself and Sesame Street. I don't think we need it. It's time to get rid of it. They get private sector funding. Number 9, Planned Parenthood. We're not going to get to the gist of what Planned Parenthood does. We're here to talk about the financial funding, and that's what it comes down to. $528.4 million comes from the U.S. government. Look how much they get from private sector and other venues. This is a list of all the companies that give money to Planned Parenthood. So tell me again why we are funding Planned Parenthood. They get plenty enough funding from these companies. I'm almost certain it won't hurt them any if we were to cut them off. Number 8, National Endowment of Humanities. They received a combined almost $300 million in budget funding. We don't fund arts and humanities. Cut it out. Low government, low funding. That's what needs to happen here. Number 7, bloated U.S. government salaries. I have a strong criticism when somebody works for the U.S. government and tends to try to be a millionaire off of working for the government. This is a frightening statistic. We have too many people in the government's too bloated, and it's time to cut people who have high salaries. They need to go first. Number 6, foreign countries getting money that hate the U.S. I'll bet you on this list there is a list of countries, at least 2 or 3 of them, that hate the United States. Well, I have one thing to say about that. If they hate the U.S. so bad, maybe their funding needs to be cut to give them a reality check of what's going on. Number 5, the World Health Organization. That is a staggering amount you're seeing on that screenshot there. All I gotta say is, we don't need to be paying that much, if any at all. This is the United States of America. Believe in freedom. We don't need to be told what to do. Number 4, the CDC. This is a chart of all the money they've received from 2011 to 2021. Notice in 2015, they received over $1 billion. I don't think they need it. They do not tell us what to do. Number 3, the United Nations. All I'm going to say is that's a lot to give in 2019. They are notorious for human rights violations and other things that they just let overlook. Yeah, you know what? They need to be cut. We need to pull out of them. We don't need them anymore. So, number 2, DARPA. You'd be surprised how much money is going into social media companies because of DARPA. All I'm going to say is this. If DARPA is the one ultimately controlling these organizations and we have the censorship thing going on, their funding needs to be cut. Maybe a reality check's in order. And finally, number 1, Obamacare. Now, this may be a golden moment for them signing legislation that they had absolutely no permission in passing. But here's a revelation nobody talks about. This is the approximate figure. This is not the exact figure, but 30 million people are without insurance right now because of loopholes and technicalities involving the Obamacare law. Needs to be repealed. Sorry.